Today I'm going to install a whole house water filter, and to be honest, this is my first time doing this, and my goal in this video is to help every homeowner to be able to install a system like this by themselves. So today I'll show you where to install the system, how to install the system, and the basic parts and tools you'll need. For parts, I'll be using a 1-inch pipes and fittings since the system size and my pipe going inside the house is 1 inch. If you have a 3/4 inch pipe, I suggest that you start with a 1 inch to 3/4 inch reducer fitting so that you can save on parts, as the 1 inch pipes and fittings are much more expensive than a 3/4 inch. So to assemble this system, I will need the following. First, I'm gonna need this 1 inch coupling. This is a male to female slip fitting, and this thing is basically gonna go right here. And if you're also installing a spin down filter like this, you're also going to need a 1 inch female to slip coupling, and this thing is gonna go right here. Then you're gonna need some T-fittings. You're also gonna need some slip ball valve so you can control the water. You're also gonna need some elbow joints. And for me, I'm adding this ball faucet so that when I replace the filter, I can just clean the filter from here instead of letting it run through the piping in my house. I'm also gonna be using this push fit connector to convert my piping from copper to PVC. I selected this threaded end so that I can connect my PVC right here. And then from copper, I'm gonna start running PVC pipes. I'm also gonna be using this pipe support because I want the pipe to be 3 inches away from the wall, and that is because this right here is 3 inches from here. Okay, so basically once I install this into the wall, I'm gonna have this as well to hold the pipe. I'm also gonna need this diamond drill bit so that I can drill a hole to my wall. I'm also gonna need some pipe cutter and deburring tools, and I'll also need this PVC solvent cement to connect my PVCs. And depending on your setup, like how far is the filter from your main connection, you need to add more elbows and pipe. And in my case, I purchased these 3 pipes, a couple more elbows over there, and of course this quick connect coupling so that I can convert my copper pipes to PVC. If you don't know where to install this unit into your home, you'll need to figure out where the main line is located. And to do that, all you need to do is look for the pressure regulator like this one around your house. In my experience, this is usually located close to your outside faucet. I'm not sure if this is the rule, but in my previous 3 houses, they are always next to each other. So like this one right here, my pressure regulator valve is on the same spot as my outside faucet, and you can see right there, that thing goes inside my crawl space. In my last 2 homes, the pressure regulator is inside my garage, right behind the outside faucet that is located to the side of my house. So if you look closely at my pressure regulator, it has an arrow right over here. Okay, so the water is actually from the city coming this way, and this is a 1 1/4 size pressure regulator going into my house right there. So I can actually make a cut here, but what I'm planning to do is I'm gonna cut inside my crawl space, because this 1 1/4 pipe goes inside my crawl space, and then it gets converted into 1 inch pipe, and after that it branches to all the pipes inside my house. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut into the 1 inch pipe before it branches to inside my house. That's why all the parts that I purchased is 1 inch, because I look at all the 1 1/4 size connectors and pipes, it's a lot more expensive. So I'm just gonna put some Teflon tape, and then I'm just gonna install it right here. And I'll do it on this side, and you can see here it says that the product is tapered 1 inch knot, so it's normal for some joint threads to be exposed after installation. So do not over tighten it to prevent thread cracking. Okay, so now I'm just gonna put this thing right here as well, and then I'm just gonna hand tighten it. And I'm also just gonna prepare this side right here, put this thing in, and also do it on the other side. Okay, and I'm gonna do the same thing on this one so that when I convert my copper to PVC, it's not going to leak. So I'm gonna cut the pipes to 4.5 inches. Okay, so I'm just gonna do some measurement right here to see where can I put the hole in. Okay, just want to make sure I have it level. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and drill right here. So I'm just gonna measure this too, make sure my thing can go through. Okay, good. Then I'm gonna drill through the wood inside here. So just assemble this thing, and I'm just gonna put some PVC glue here before I stick it into the wall. And gonna apply this glue right here, and also inside here. And I'll just push this thing in and make a turn and hold it for about 10 seconds. Okay, and let me just wipe this thing off. And I'm just gonna do the same on this side. Get my glue. And just gonna go push this thing in, make a turn, and hold it for about 10 seconds. Okay. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna position this here to get an idea on how high I want it and where to drill the hole. So I guess this is good. Then I'm just gonna position this sticker right here. And then basically I just need to drill a hole in these two sides right here. So Simpure provided this screw here with a plastic wall anchor, but instead of using this, I'm going to be using this more beefier wall anchor right here, because I don't want the filter to fall once I install it into the wall. So now I just have to build the pipe around this, and after that I'm gonna go into my crawl space and do the rest. Okay, so I got the outside plumbing done, and what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna put the pressure gauges right here so that it doesn't get any dirt over there, and then I'm gonna install the filters, and then tomorrow I'll go ahead and go under the crawl space and complete my install. Okay, so to install the pressure gauges, all you need to do is just push this thing in here, and that thing should lock. Okay, and this one too, and see, you can't pull it out anymore, and another one right here, so that is locked. And basically, to pull it out, all you need to do is, you see this little notch right here, you just push it down as you pull the pressure gauge out. Okay, and then to install it back, just push it in, and this thing is now secured. Okay, next I'm going to be installing the filters. The first one is the MPP. Make sure you remove the packaging material before you put it in. Okay, and this one, you just drop it right here. Make sure it's centered. Make sure that the two O-rings are inserted properly, and then you just wanna put it in right here. So the MPP filter goes to the first filter head, then I'm just gonna use this to tighten it. Next will be the KDF filter. So the KDF filter, you can only install it in one direction, so make sure that when you remove the package that you install it this way. Okay, so if you look here on the top one have those little holes right there. Okay, the bottom one doesn't. The bottom one is just closed. And right here I noticed also that there's the word up. Okay, so it's tight, and I'm just gonna do just one last turn right here. The last one is the CTO filter. This thing, you can install it either way. Just make sure that when you remove the packaging that this thing doesn't come off, because this thing is coming off. Okay, so make sure that you have this O-rings right there and also on the other side. So it's the same thing for the other two filters. So if you don't have this, make sure you look for it, or else you're gonna have a leak. Okay, so this is how it looks like, and it's basically just installed right here. And also, when you remove the filter, you want to make sure that you take the O-ring out, because sometimes this thing will stick to the bottom of the filter, and when you put it on, you're gonna have a hard time putting it because this thing is gonna be an extra thickness, so you won't be able to close your housing properly. Okay, okay, so we're almost done now. I'm just gonna install this right here. So the reason I put this thing right here is so that when I install a CTO filter, the CTO filter requirement is for you to put the water to waste for about 5 minutes so that it can get rid of all the loose carbons. If you don't have this thing, what's gonna happen is when you turn on your faucet, the first thing that's gonna come out is those loose carbons. So kind of like when you have your refrigerator water filter, it's the same thing. So I'm just gonna put this thing here so that when I replace the filter, all I need to do is turn this thing off and let the filter run and let the water come out here instead of going back to the house. Okay, so I'm just gonna put some Teflon tape to prevent it from leaking, and I'm just gonna go right here. So let's see if I can do one more turn, and I guess that's it. Good. Okay, so this thing is just gonna be like this, so it will be closed and the water will go all the way here and go back to the house. If I need to clean the filter, I can go close this thing and open this thing. Okay, so I'm under the crawl space right now, and you can see I have two lines right there. So basically the top line is my water line and the bottom line is my gas line. So that's the reason I don't want to do any soldering here, because as a DIYer you need to pick your battle, and I'm not comfortable putting a fire under my crawl space right beside my gas line right here. So basically what I did is I poke a hole there on the wall and I bring all the PVC pipes right here, and instead of tapping right there right away, I decided I would go ahead and tap right on this side right here. So I just have to run maybe another 2 feet of PVC pipes, because the shark bite part right here, it's gonna cost me about $40 each if I decided to tap on my 1 1/4 pipe, because I'm going to need the shark bite and then also a reducer. While this one here, I just need one part, and basically I can purchase this for $17 for 2 pieces. So I have one there, and I'm gonna need another one there. So I'm gonna need basically 3 pieces, but it's a lot cheaper than getting two $40 item here that's gonna cost me $80 right away. Plus the pipes and the connectors are also more expensive for a 1 1/4. So when I did my pricing, it's gonna cost me about $270 for pipe material if I tap into my 1 1/4, but it only cost me about $74 when I tap into my 1 inch. So I prepared this already. I'm gonna be cutting right here, and you can see I sanded this so that it's smooth, and I'm gonna be cutting here and also on that side right there so that I can put in my push-in connector, and hopefully we don't have any leaks there. And you can see I did pre-glued everything except for this part right here, because I'm not sure if I'll be able to just push it a little and I'll push it in. So I'm still gonna have to wait at least 30 minutes to 2 hours before I turn on my water, but according to most users that's using this red hot glue, they said they only wait 30 minutes to do it. So for me, I'm gonna wait at least 2 hours just to make sure. Okay, so basically what I did is I make a line right here. This is where I'm gonna make my cuts, and I'm gonna be using this pipe cutter to do my cut, and hopefully I'll be able to do it straight. And also I'm gonna do another cut right here so that I can connect another one right here. Okay, so let me go ahead and measure that also. Let me go ahead and remove this so I can do my cut properly. And I know there's gonna be some water flowing right here, but that's okay. Every 2 or 3 turns, you just want to keep tightening it so that it can create a deeper groove into your pipe. There you go. That's one pipe. And now I'm gonna have to do it again on the other side. Okay, so let me go ahead and catch some water right here, see if I could. Okay, so I'll just put it right here. Okay, and basically next is I'm gonna have to do it right here as well. So of course, I still have some water comes out right here because the pipe is now tilting down, so that's fine. I'm just gonna do this thing now. Let me go turn off the camera so that I don't waste my battery. It's gonna be the same process as these two right here. Okay, so everything's now cut, and you can see when you use this type of cutter, you can actually cut really straight. So this is really great for shark bites, because shark bites wants you to do a square cut. And right here is really good as well. So it's not really sharp, but I'm still gonna use my reaming tool so that I can make sure that there's no sharp edges that can damage the O-ring from the push fit coating. Right now it actually feels really good, but I'm still gonna use my deburring tool and my reamer. So this is my reamer right here. So this is outside and inside reamer, and also I have my deburring tool right here. So the way this works is you just basically go like this, and you just spin it so that you can make this thing smooth right here, and also on the inside as well. So the same thing, and then after that you want to use your deburring tool to remove anything that can damage the O-rings from your push connect fittings. And just to make sure, I'm using a very fine sandpaper as well. This is wet already because I did this part already, just to make sure that everything here is smooth so that the O-ring from the push connect fitting can properly seal this area right here. Okay, so I'll do it on everything. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do it like this. Make sure you have a very fine sandpaper. This is actually a 240. You don't want anything lower than 100 when you're doing this, okay? Because you don't want to put like big grooves right here. Okay, so this is a voiceover right now because unfortunately when I hit the record button, I accidentally hit the slow-mo buttons. So nothing was recorded when I was installing the push connect fittings, but installing push connect fitting is very easy. Just make sure that you mark the pipe before you insert it so that you know that you have inserted it correctly. And this is how the pipe looks like now. Everything is installed. For now, I'm just gonna wait at least 2 hours to make sure that the glue are properly cured before I turn on my water. Okay, so I'm just gonna redo part of this video now because the rest of my video is actually in slow-mo. So what I did is I went back under the crawl space after a couple of hours and I asked my wife to turn this thing back on. So basically this thing started like this. When you have it this way, water is not going through. So she basically just flipped this to turn the water on. And basically when my wife turned the water on, I have it set up like this. So with this setup right here, the water actually goes from my main water line, goes here, goes over here, and goes back to the house. It doesn't go to the filter. And while it's like this, I inspect all the pipes under the crawl space and make sure that there's no leak. So after I confirmed that there's no leaks in my pipes under the crawl space, I came out here, and what I did is I just turned this thing off, leave that thing off, and let the water goes here, right there, and to my filter. And then I let the water fill this filter up, and then it goes back up there, goes to the second one and to the third one, and it starts going out there and over there. And instead of letting it go back to the house, I left this thing off and I let the water come out from here so that I can clean the filter first. Okay, and I run this for about 10 minutes, and then after that I turn this thing off, turn this thing back on, and then I let the water go here and back into my house. So I have this thing set up for about a month now, so you can see it already collected a lot of, I think this is iron since it's brown, and we actually feel the difference in our house. So basically after a couple of days of using this, I noticed that my skin doesn't dry up anymore, and also my wife have a dry scalp she doesn't have that anymore. So that means that this filter is actually doing its job and it's cleaning our water. I'm gonna do a follow-up video on this when it's time for me to replace this filter. So right now you can see the pressure is still good. It's all the same on all the pressure gauges, and after about a month of using this, we never have any issue with water pressure in our house. So I hope that this thing will last at least 6 months before I have to replace this one right here. But for now, I'm really happy with this product, and I hope that you found this video helpful to you. If it does, please help my channel by clicking the like and the subscribe button, and thank you for watching.